Episode 22.
21,
Yeah.
right?
Episode 21. Mr. Grady. Yeah, it's been a fun week for me. But let's not talk about it because one day we'll talk about the trials and tribulations of sports. Oh God! One day I will have that podcast. After probably nearing death, I'll probably start talking about it.
Yeah. Maybe once you get kicked out.
I'll probably be very soon in the way I'm going right now. Oh God. So funny. Anyway, so I had a lot of questions or a lot of queries about queries. There's something wrong with this episode. There's a lot of queries about life as a freelancer. I think the episode of careers and divorces. So as you said, I think people talk about it, right?
Yeah, people are basically asking like, when you find the time and money to go and do.
Where do I find the money?
Yeah.
Really have to think.
Yeah, so they're wondering like, so what is it exactly that you do? I mean, I get questions like that. So
Yeah.
Yeah, then I just thought, what exactly how exactly do you do a freelancer life like this?
Well, I started in 2000. That's probably not exact. You mentioned it before. Like I said, a lot of it had to do with I wouldn't say luck, but a lot of it because I'd already established myself a few years before that. So having been able to do the stuff I do, because I had to establish myself whilst I was working. It's the same thing when people want to start opening their own stuff on their own company. They already had a little bit of I wouldn't say savings and stuff. Yeah, so that you're ready. So you give yourself maybe a year or two. If it doesn't work, then be prepared to come back. And a lot of people do fail. A lot of people fail because they think way too far ahead for one, and two, they think, well, I can get jobs. You find that is really hard, and even more so in our industry, where the creative industry, where you need to go out there and do it. And this is what prior to social media, so I can't record myself and then people see what I do. I literally had to go to events and stuff to get myself out there. But I've talked about it.
Yeah. So what was your original skill set? If you were just to break it down, like when you went out like solo as a freelancer, you're like, okay, this toolkit I have, like this is like the skills I have, and this is what I'm trying to monetize and sell.
Well, my massive core card was Kopitiam. It became a very popular show. And because of that popularity, it was easy for me to tell people, oh, you're that guy from, and then that's where the conversation starts.
So were you selling were you selling writing, copywriting, or something?
I was doing nothing at the time except for marketing myself. Like I said, we're almost like prostitutes. We're going out there and selling yourself out into the big world and into events. This was our way of putting ourselves on IG. This is what I do, blah blah blah. Going to events, people could see it, and then we thrive on getting newspaper write-ups and all that. Because
so what kind of gigs were you looking for?
Well, at the time we just wanted acting gigs, and I was lucky, the fact that I got the two shows that propelled me from to real stardom. And it was Kopitiam was one, and then the other one was Tollgate, which was a Malay telemovie with Ibi Masura.
Yeah.
Do you know? I can't remember how much it was paid, but I remember it wasn't that much. Oh, it was actually okay for that in that time. We're talking about 24 years ago.
Yeah.
In those days, let's talk about prices here. in those days, my God, we were playing pictures. I'll talk about it. You give a range. You could be, if you were, okay, in those days for commercial, you could be paid between 1,500. A feature talent. If you were not a feature talent, you probably get paid like 500 or 200 per day, whatever, 100.
For just appearing in the
Just
show.
showing your face, like that. Commercial. And you didn't run, we didn't realize that it was like, the contracts would say worldwide. So your face would be shown worldwide, and you didn't realize it. If we knew at the time, if you had an proper agent, obviously we would have asked for more, but then you ask for more, you won't get a job. The exploitation was at its best in those days because people always wanted to show their face. And when I did the first ad I did was, like I said, was KFC. So KFC, yeah, when I was 18 years old. I think I was paid 1,500, 1,500 for a 1-year contract or something like that. It was a lot of money. Contract. Yeah, but for me, I mean, at the time, it's a lot of money. It's like, couldn't. It's a lot of money.
So what is the 1-year contract?
So basically, you can only show your advert for 1 year. On television, in the cinema. There was no social media then. Television, cinema.
So you get paid 15K.
No, 1,500.
1,500. Oh, okay. Yeah.
1,500.
Oh,
15,000. I'll be fun. Laughing all the way to the bank as a 18, 19-year-old.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Put like a extra zero.
1,500.
Oh.
Not 15,000.
Yeah.
1,500. Yeah. So yeah, exploitation. And you were like 50,000. That's not exploitation.
So you just shot one commercial.
Well, that's the thing. So you don't know whether they shoot one or they make different versions for other countries. Because you don't know. Because we're not in that. We're not privy to that.
Yeah.
They'll say that and those days you don't read it. Just I'm getting money. Sign.
Yeah.
Hey, happy. Let's go. Party after that. And then then you learn to read contracts.
Yeah.
And it goes. And so now the next time I did a commercial, I was like, is this from Malaysia? They're like, oh, this guy knows already. Yeah.
Okay.
So those days, you could be doing.
Were you an unknown face?
Yeah. Because it was my friend, my sister's friend, who asked me, hey, you want to be in commercial? We're like, yeah, sure. Oh, you play rugby? Yeah. It was because there was a rugby scene there. I remember we shot at SMS Slum at the time. And I was already like playing for Cobra. What was that? No, it was before I joined Cobra. Then after that,
I mean, so to say at the height of your fame, like how much could you earn from getting a commercial, like getting?
You could earn about 5,000, or if you knew how to negotiate, you can get 10,000.
So
And there's a lot of money then. But a lot of money then because our ringgit was strong at the time.
So was it possible to like hustle for like acting and commercial gigs just to support yourself?
So what I did was at the time I knew that I had to be really creative in what I did.
Yeah.
So I also when I had people doing voiceovers, in those days you get 10 ringgit a second. You do 30 seconds, so you can earn 300 ringgit per recording, or it was like 45 seconds, that's 400 ringgit. But the payment terms are that you wait 3 to 6 months to get paid. So you don't treat that as your bread and butter. So you try and get into more TV series because then you have what we call staggered payments. Remember, children, always gets don't go on 4 payments, go on 3. Because they always do that last time, which is what they do now. Oh, you have to come for the promo, blah blah blah, to get your last 10%. So annoying. and they did it. I don't care if I talk about it now, but now we practice the 50-50.
I mean, how early on did you get an agent? Did you like?
I didn't. I because I used to be in events. So we used to manage talent.
Okay.
So I had the advantage of when I started doing stuff for myself, I knew the industry, so to speak, in that sense, because we always hire performers and all that. We knew what the prices were, with the company I worked with, freelancer, I was very happy to say, especially with under my event or my events that I manage. We never. I remember this. We never added an extra 10% to the performance fees.
Yeah.
We, make sure that we get it from our either let's call it service fees or whatever. Because I was like, why would I want to get something? I'm not performing. But they do practice that. There was a normal practice to always try and get percentages of everything. And then, so the government does it. They do that.
So like, just besides acting, and we're just trying directing then, like besides acting and directing,
Yeah, voiceovers. So I used to get paid for writing scripts. Corporate gigs were good because they paid more. With corporate gigs, whether I was directing or writing for them, the prices would be different.
how do you get like writing gigs for?
Oh, because I used to write for magazines, and you'll get like I don't know, 100 ringgit something like little money here and there, but it all adds up. And I thought it was fun, just writing a piece.
So where do you find the
People know you from there, and then they'll start asking questions, and then they like ask us to give examples. So we'll write, and I used to write anyway. And then when I started learning to write scripts, it was like easy. You're writing an article, but it's more about what I did. I have plenty of examples that I've kept.
So what can you get for like a voiceover gig?
So voiceover, like I said, nowadays it's different. The voice skill, I think you get either 15 or 20, you get the second one. Thankfully, the voice skill, prices have gone up with the times. Whether it's enough, I don't know. But in my day, like if you're a standard voiceover artist, you get paid 10 ringgit now. 10 ringgit a second to do commercials.
10 ringgit a second.
Yeah, 10 ringgit a second. So you get like 30 seconds, you get 300. If you're like Joe Hashan, who's like the voice, you get like 15 or 20 ringgit at a time. So but if you want his voice, which is so opaque, then you pay, and
So how much is like a voice actor?
then I don't know. I mean, more than 20, I guess. a second. But then there's also when you're doing narration for a
Video or something.
for video or documentary or whatever. That is also different. You could like charge, I don't know. The numbers always fluctuate. You could get paid 1,500, or if it's skip 500. If they're really bad, 300 for a half an hour show. Okay, but then if you're desperate, you just take it because you're like.
What do you think about like, and you see a lot
exploitation, bro?
But you see a lot nowadays using this AI voiceover. So are you comfortable?
Yeah, why not? I mean, if they're happy with it, they've tried it. There's some are like, no good.
Yeah.
Until it improves, which it will. Try doing it in Bahasa. There are one or two that are good ones, but
yeah,
it's just that it's too standard, so you don't get the nuances of the whole thing. It will improve over time, and of course, it's like machinery, automation. That happened to a lot of people who lost jobs because now you're building cars. Last time, remember, you had a whole floor of people who were fitted. And now you have the Japanese started it.
I know with a lot of my jobs, I'm quite comfortable using like a lot of this.
Yeah, I still like using it because it helps, but you don't rely on it. It is supposed to be an addition to your, or rather, it's like having a pencil so you were able to write. You know what I mean? I don't know whether people understand that, or I do.
Yeah, I mean a lot of things like this, like
instead of dictating, you get.
Instead of paying the extra 500, but okay.
Well, you might have to pay the extra 500 on the software, and then you realize it's actually more expensive than you thought.
Use it multiple times. But then, anyway, back to that. You just use something else.
It's great water. Where'd you get it from? Okay.
Yeah, Russia, apparently.
Ain't me.
So, okay, you use voiceovers and stuff like that. Then you promoted your writing, and then so you did like freelance PR stuff. Was it a conscious decision, like to not do it like with a company, like or to as an employee, like that's why you just
I think it's because I mean, at the end of the day, why we freelance and do this is to have freedom of movement, freedom to be able to do what we do, and not have. I mean, of course, one thing I always tell freelancers is just meet your deadlines. I mean, that's the one big factor. If you really want to earn the big bucks, you've got to be really disciplined, and you can't. I've had even my brother, I think, my kid brother. I mean, he was a freelance designer. I know this freelance designer now. You know, I asked him to do stuff for me, and I told him, I will pay you what you want. You tell me how much. I'm not going to ask you for. It's my brother, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
But they have this problem. A lot of the I'll take my brother now. I'm saying good now with deadlines.
Yeah.
Designers have that. Creative people. I'm a creative person, but I'm also very conscious about having to do this because you know why I do it. I had reached deadline so I can get the next job. So I don't piss around and I think freelancers need to understand that. Yes, you have your own time and all that. Yes, you can be creative and take your time. If you're doing your own stuff, yeah, you're doing your own shit, it's okay, go ahead. But if you have to, a corporate client wants things done, you committed to that, you signed that contract, get it done. It's almost as if you're working 9 to 5, but you've got to get it done. You signed up for it, get it done on time, so that you can get the next job. The early bird gets to work. Don't be late.
Yeah. So as someone who runs an agency now, you're on the other end. How do you look at you having employees or you hiring?
Are you talking about here in Kuching? Because I'll talk about here in Kuching.
Oh, I mean, up to you. We can talk about Kuching first.
No, we have to talk about Kuching because this is pretty much what more.
Yeah, I was asking about Kuching. I mean, you're running
Even the
agency.
freelancers in Kuching, okay, and running an agency in Kuching, you've got to, it's very competitive in West Malaysia. Here, still when I ask things to get done, this younger generation is so funny. One, they don't respond. And can you get this done? Okay. And then they're waiting. They're there's no updates. Then I have to ask. Oh, it's still being done. I get surprised because not say that I will get things done. They're working with me, but
So does that make you more wary of hiring freelancers as opposed to my own employees?
I would rather hire freelancers because I probably would be able to get them to be a bit more disciplined with their time. Because when you're working for a salary, you tend to be a bit laid back because you're going to get that salary at the end of the month. Whereas when you're a freelancer, you're hungrier. You're supposed to be hungrier. So you want to get the job done as soon as you can so you can get the next one. So that should be the case. I mean, freelancers here have that sort of, I wouldn't say discipline, that hunger, but the discipline isn't there yet. Because there's not enough competition. Because for example, if you talk about editors, I had one editor from the freelance editor. I mean, saw him the other day, so I don't know. Doesn't talk to me because he knows he's done wrong, and yeah, it's scared. They don't because they know I just keep. I don't know why should I put. I don't have time for this thing.
Yeah. So, but then
I mean, my friend probably like, oh, you mention. I'm going to mention it because you have a responsibility to get. We give you all the footage. The least that you could do is lay out lay out the track and put the. Even then, there's too much footage. His excuses was too much footage. If I was an editor, I had too much footage, I'd be very happy.
Yeah.
It's a very happy problem. So then I was like, this guy is not an editor. or he's just wants, I don't know, collect, also extract. We had to like, no, I don't want. We ended up doing it, myself and the producer. And then we had to hire another friend who so got his own, he can edit, but he helped us on it. It's just, that's what happens. And you need to be very disciplined if you want. It's a big job, especially things like editors.
Yeah.
It is, it's not easy. People like, oh, it's so easy. When you're used to doing weddings, 2-3 minute videos, yeah, I can understand. I've never done it, but I've done news. And I've had to edit deadline, by 8 o'clock. Before that, has to be there and send my FTP server. Those days, like sending news for 3 minutes takes like 4 hours just to go over, and then you've got to call up say, is it there? Or literally like that. Imagine the guys, the old stuff when they had to like run around and oh my god, I and nowadays like, oh, Google Drive it. Yeah, tape, bro.
Yeah, I mean, now that you have like all this experience hiring all these freelancers, what do you think about the
Price?
pricing?
Yeah. Well,
Do you think they're charging too low, too high?
Generally in Sarawak, I feel bad. I do mention this, and I tell the guys in Singapore, guys, don't take this, please, because we tend to charge lower. I've had a photographer friend who actually will be speaking to soon, and they haven't been paid. I mean, even though their prices weren't that high, and then it's disgusting. We've got companies from Semenanjung not paying our photographers and it's really bad. And we don't charge that much. And when I hear my other friends in the industry here, they're like, oh, we charge. I said, why are you charging that much? Oh, we haven't got enough exposure. I understand that, but you're going to get exploited the whole time. There's some of them don't feel that they can charge that much because they don't feel that. So you don't have to charge that much, but don't charge too low because you need to cover your costs. Like, look at your cost of traveling. Look at your cost of. I don't have a car, so I've got to look at, for example, if I was freelancer, Grab, makan, my accommodation. If I was out station or out town, all that I cost. So how much do I put on top of that? I can't charge my cost, but then I won't make money.
So would you say like in general, the market rate is low?
It is very low.
Very low.
Yeah.
So you're just saying
even for MCs, even for I've spoken to like the MCs who are very experienced here, and the market rate is low because the corporations feel that we shouldn't pay that much.
Can you give a number?
Well, it'll be in the low thousands for experienced guys. When they should be paid at least, I'm being biased here, but at least 8,000 to 10,000.
Is that close to the
Especially when they've been around longer. Yes, should be closer to KL. The KL is a lot more competitive, so they've actually put the prices down. But you could get, a good person can get 5K.
I mean, how about if
6K, 7K?
If those who argue it's like, KL is a huge market, everyone gets paid more.
But they get more jobs. That's why they can charge lower. We don't have that many jobs here, or at least the corporations, they do have a lot of jobs, but they get a lot of jobs, so we don't have to charge them. That's wrong.
You think there's a quality discrepancy?
Yeah.
Within KL, would you?
There are a few I reckon that can do well in KL, and they should charge whatever. There's a couple I know. I've spoken to them about it, and I get very concerned that they are being paid low, because these guys are always constantly. I mean, they said that they're very grateful that they've got a lot of jobs, so that's why they don't charge that much. But at the end of the day, at the end of the day, you should be paid what you're worth, because I don't think it's fair that you should be in demand. But unfortunately, in our industry, especially our industry, first thing is always get cut is everything. So they feel that it's not important. But everyone watches TV. Just imagine all that was gone. What would you be doing? Who's gonna, the industry is sort of dying at the moment. Anyway.
So yeah, if you're a freelancer in like the creative industry, then one more question: Do you think, yeah, you should move to a bigger market for more jobs, or do you think they're able to survive in a market like cheap or struggle?
Like I said, you've got to be able to multitask in this industry. I think now you've seen also once you got famous enough, a lot of them will tie in with becoming ambassadors and all that, where they get supplementary income, and that's good because the way the social media is set up now, it gives you a lot of chances to be able to do that. You can get famous very fast. And then that guy, is it Lambi, the guy who doesn't speak the Italian Kabi. Yeah. Boom. Within a year, now he doesn't really need to work, but he still does stuff. But he's more of ambassador for everything else, and that's how quickly you can get. I know. Of course, they'll talk about the strategies how you get famous, but in terms of his earnings, wow, very very good. And these days it's a lot easier. It's a lot. You have more opportunities to be able to earn rather than last time, because last time you really had to work hard to get it. It's not easy. And they're like, it's always this excuse whether, why didn't they like do well then? It's like, it was really hard to get. Even more so in the generation before me.
Yeah.
They weren't really treated that well. But they entertained. I mean, we all know the story about Pirangi. So as much as you're talented and all that.
And for any person who's like start freelancing, where do you learn about pricing? Where do you start learning about pricing? Like, I remember when I just went out on my own for the first time, like, yeah, what do I charge? I don't even know, what the hell is market rate? Where do you learn?
I think you just, it's always good to have honest conversations with your peers. I think it is something that you shouldn't shy away from because you'll never know. I always tell, now I encourage, the younger guys or whatever, and I'm actually okay to share it nowadays about pricing because I think it's really important and pertinent that these guys know and not be, I wouldn't say con, but be taken advantage of because our industry is so volatile in a lot of sense. Like, as you know, working as a freelancer, you just don't know what to charge, right? Yeah. And the best is always to speak to your peers or go to speak to the body. We always, this is a question we always get asked at freelance. Are you going to give us, are you going to put out a rate card? They have rate cards for PR. If you've worked with PR companies, they actually have rate cards.
So more freelancers as well.
So you should do something similar. So for example, if you write an article, this is this much. If you bring in for PR companies, you use the junior guy, this is how much it's going to cost an hour. Use the senior guy, this is going to cost how much an hour. You do a press conference, this is how much cost. You do this article, this is how much cost. So you do a menu. I guess that's how AirAsia was born. But you should do the same as a freelancer, just and write it down. And then as you get better, you can tell yourself, okay, maybe I should charge more because I have a lot more experience and people like my work. People will pay if they really like you, and you have to explain that to your potential client or the client that you're working with. And I just tell them, look, we had this case where we were doing stuff, and we did this for the Kopitiam cast did a commercial for Maxis. It wasn't just commercial, but it was a whole campaign at the time because we were in the thing. And everyone, the clients were saying at the time, like, wow, why are they so expensive? We had our own prices. And like, if you pay, peanuts, you get monkeys. So what happened was when we shot the whole campaign commercial, we finished it not only on time, early, saved the money.
Yeah.
They're like, this is why you pay, because you're paying for professionals who can do their job and not stutter their way through or go through. And this was still short film in those days. It's like late 90s or early 2000s. So when you save the money, of course, you may think we're expensive now, but we do the job well, and we've proven that we do the job well, that you actually save time and costs. So what is it? Are you okay? We're willing to pay, or you want to cut us down and then you find somebody else to do it, which will probably cost you more in the long run.
So what do you say to someone who maybe they just graduated in like graphic design, and then they've done a bit of writing, maybe they've edited things in their free time. So how do you go out there and market? And should they charge like low based on their like pretty much non-experience? Like,
well, again, we nowadays, like I said, social media plays plays a massive factor in how you sell yourself. You now have a platform to be able to showcase all your work prior to that. So a lot of it is, for us, it's like really hard to do that because we couldn't like, hey, this is what I was in. Like, oh, you were that guy in there. Now you can put the stuff on and go, hey, you can also, for example, I can do one thing for you for free, but then subsequent ones, but you must do it so well that they want you more. And that's one of the ways of doing it. Or you could charge high at the beginning and then but it's all subjective, right? So they can say, I didn't like this stuff, which is actually really good, but they can say they didn't like it. And then you get deflated because it's like, oh, maybe I should charge less. Because that's what they do. It's not because you didn't do the job, but it's like, oh, maybe I don't want him to pay. I don't want him to like feel like I have to pay more, so I'll say his work is bad.
So that's interesting. Like imagine like I was someone who had a certain style. I used to like making these videos, and it's a little different. I didn't want to put us like standard corporate like music and background and stuff like that. And you realize that's all the market wants. And what do you tell someone like that? Like you gotta adjust and just for your bread and butter, and then try to find something else to do. Your own creative outlet.
Exactly. So you need, if you need your bread and butter, just do it, because you need to be able to, especially a freelancer. And I've had so many friends, and probably yourself as well, like, oh, I don't want to do this, but it goes against the grain. Oh, guess what I do? And I face that myself. Like, oh, but then you're gonna, through gritted teeth, you just do it because, oh my God, it's gonna be a good payday. They're happy. The client's happy. Hey, you're happy, but creatively, you're like, oh my God, that was crap. But it's okay because they're paying thousands of ringgit to do it. And oh, this performance was so good. So, but it's good for the client. If it fulfills their needs and desires and their objectives, fine, great. Because you'll only enhance your reputation. Because other people won't see it. They'll just say, oh, they did a really good job. That's the important thing when you're doing your bread and butter. Because it will open the doors and give you more jobs. And also, what you charge. Again, charging is very subjective because it's how many days are you working. You could say to yourself, oh, I'll only charge 100 ringgit an hour. I'll charge 100 ringgit an hour for the work I do. For example, last time, if you were an editor, we would check it. Literally was
a video editor, right?
Yeah, video editor. So it was like 800 ringgit for a session. This was like late 90s, early 2000s. So a slot. How long was a slot? I think it was 100 an hour. So 800. People say, oh, so expensive. But there weren't that many editors. And those days, anything wasn't like now. You're on the laptop, blah, blah, blah. Just like machines, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought that they should be paid more because they're specialists.
Yeah.
In their job. So again, it's not, you can't compare it. Oh, he's an editor. It's like, why is he editing? Is he editing a film? Is he editing a commercial? Which is probably, you get paid a lot to do it in short time, because the reason you get paid is because you've got to do it in a specific amount of time so that it's ready to be televised or whatever.
So how do you see like the freelance route and or going like the agency route, like starting your own agency, or just staying freelance? I mean, you talked about like why you did it in the first place, because it's like you wanted that freedom of movement, like all that extra time, which like you assume will probably be a lot less when you have an actual physical agency, right? But yeah, how would you compare the two?
I see. I suppose as you get older, you realize that you want to own a piece of that business, and a lot. It's just taking me a longer route than usual. Like people who started early, they're very successful now because they started owning their business. I was too at the time. I wanted to try everything because I still didn't know what I want. It's only now in the last episode I realized that I was like, oh, I want actually I can marry two things at once, which was sports and PR. And it's a very niche market. Not many people can do it because you've got to have the experience and the network to be able to do it. And I gained that from freelancing. So yeah, now I can start the agency to do it because I've gathered the information, the network, and the know-how to do it. And that's what I realized. That's what I want to do. This is what I'm going to focus on. It's taking me so long, freelancing so long to get there. There are still people who still freelance until today, because they still enjoy doing what they do, because they don't want to own a company. They don't want to be able to have that responsibility to, well, we call it responsibility, but the excitement of having to have your own.
I mean, in your personal view, I know it differs for a lot of people, but do you feel there is more of a ceiling, like in terms of how much you can earn if you're just freelancing, which is why you go the agency route, or do you feel, no, I mean, that's not.
There is no ceiling for either. It's all depends how much harder you work or how much you believe you can get. As a freelance, you could earn more because you could say this is what I should do. I've had friends who earn 70K just for a gig, one gig, and that's a lot of people's salaries in 1 year, more than.
So why go through the agency?
I think for me it's the excitement of having to build something from the bottom and see where it can take me this time around. And it's not just one company. And then you realize that, wow, there's actually a lot of benefit. I had companies in the past which did well and failed.
So,
and we learn from that. Oh, I should go back to the freelance route because it's a lot safer. But then you also came to a point where like there were points in my life like, oh my God, I don't know what the next pay is going to get. And it's the same now with the agency, but at least you've got something to work at.
I mean, is there something to like? You have this desire to like build these industries in like your hometown, your travel.
Yeah,
so
that's also part of the reason because sports PR is I think it literally is a niche market. No one's not going to go without sports ever, but they need to be able to market it properly and have people like us who's been in the industry and in the business to be able to make them even more, make it bigger, make it more attractive and lucrative to potential sponsors and clients, and a lot of them only look at the sport and try to make a business out of it without learning how to market it.
Well, now we're into sports PR and everything, right? Like, can you give a rundown how it is in like West Malaysia? Like
So there's not very
much is-
many in
it's not
West
many as
Malaysia.
well.
It's very niche. I got a friend who's doing very well. I remember when he first started, and I asked him for a lot of advice. I haven't spoken to him in about a few months, but he's more than willing to help. We were both. I mean, he's been in sports longer than I have. He used to be a newsman as well, and they do very well. He's doing very well. It's also part of FAM as well.
I mean, why do you think it's so niche?
I think because not many people are in the sports. A lot of people in sports, but I don't think there are enough people who do branding, proper branding for sports, or at least PR, sports PR, because
Yeah, why do you think
no
that
one,
is?
I don't think people really take it seriously.
No.
Yeah, they think we can do it, we can do it ourselves. But there's a lot of little things that are very important in
So how do you see the
being able to promote
opportunity?
sport.
Like, how do you see the size of the opportunity? Like,
It's massive. We've got SEA Games coming up in 2027. There are many other sporting events that goes on. Years, when I'll give you an example for even rugby.
Yeah.
What we're doing right now with social media. It's part of PR. It's being able to create the awareness first of the brand Sarawak Rugby Union. Being able to get people to know what Sarawak, or at least have the presence there. Go, oh, Sarawak Rugby Union. Because the next thing they're going to do, what do? Rugby. What is it all about? And that's where you capture the first crowd. They go, this is the other PR work. Go, hey, let's tell you what rugby is all about. It's really fun to run down and create that atmosphere. It's something that I did when I introduced rugby in Astro Arena. That was built from scratch. Over the weekend, I had a really nice compliment. It said, Rashid, without you, there will be no rugby on TV now. There will be no the rugby platforms that are showing now. Without you, there will be no. And I sat back and went, I did say thank you. I went, thank you. I didn't realize that helped create this thing the last 14 years. 13, 14 years. Because
it wasn't your mom.
pushed it. What?
It wasn't your mom, was it like the compliment?
No, it wasn't it was from the rugby committee.
Oh, well
Yeah,
done.
this guy. It was like, it was you. It told me to my face. I just like, that's why I had a fun weekend. And to be told that to your face, the problem was because over the weekend we didn't have live streaming for Cobra. I mean, that's another story we'll probably talk about one day. But they're like, we were discussing the pros and cons, and then it came to a point where it was like, and I remember I was like, oh, thank you. I mean, it was really nice to hear because.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this like quite a few times, like behind the scenes, like how a lot of money is left on the table when it comes to marketing, like athletes, marketing clubs, marketing sports, marketing events, televising events. Yeah, just everything in general.
We could have a whole episode about that actually. But we don't want to be talking about sports all the time, right? But yeah, moving back to the freelancing thing, even for freelancing to getting broadcast out and all that, the varying prices. It's about quality and quantity as well. We will have clients who like, oh no, we don't need to pay that much for live streaming. We just can come out. But as someone who's been in the broadcast line, at least doing live streaming, it's really important how you present yourself, or because if you're paying for someone who is worth it, you pay not just twice more, but 3-4 times more, it's worth it.
Yeah.
Because you have less headaches and when the thing is run. I'm not saying that the people who are cheap are bad, but they don't have the experience. Yes, they're learning, and I guarantee when they get better, they will have to charge more, and they will get to a stage where everyone will be at the same price. It's just that some companies charge that price because they've already had the experience. But clients are not willing to pay for it because they're like, oh, I can get this guy who's much cheaper, 3 or 4 times cheaper, and it will save me costs. It will save you costs, but it won't give you the quality.
Would you recommend like a freelancer or maybe an aspiring freelancer like who's starting out to get like company experience, like actual work experience before they start going out and monetizing?
You can freelance with a company, so you can do it
But
on
do
a
you think it's
project
a
basis.
slower way to learn?
This is one of the better way to learn because you're still freelancing, but you are, unless you're very good at getting your own projects, then it's different. But you will need to gain a contact first. The way you gain a contact is to have yourself hired to do a project by, whether it's a friend or not.
Yeah.
Friends should pay what you want, unless it's like, that we really don't have the budget, and you be honest with them and tell them.
Yeah.
But, at the end of the day, you've got to latch yourself on, get the experience first before you go out and sell yourself. You know what I mean? It's almost a chicken and egg thing because you still need to sell yourself to get the first project. But the reason why you go freelancing is because you're confident that you've already got the clients. And a lot of people go freelancing because they've already had the clients in the past and they're working companies. I mean, it's not very good practice. It's like, etiquette and all that.
Yeah.
As you know, but
Yeah.
at least happened. I mean, I know friends who do it as well.
Yeah.
Steal clients from their former
Agencies.
agencies. But that's,
It is
what it is.
Yeah.
Especially when people started their own, and then it's like, hey, when these your clients? I said, yeah. The clients prefer to work with us because they're comfortable. And what to do?
So, just as an employer, right? What do you tell anyone who's like trying to come up in the creative industry, like whether as a freelancer or people potentially working for you? Like, what do you tell people? Like,
Don't give up.
what do you learn? What do you do?
Well, it's also, like, depends what you want. If you want to do the bread and butter, you really don't open your mouth too much. Don't give your unless they ask for it.
Yeah.
Don't give your creative input. If it's your own project, I understand. I mean but it's advice. I mean, sometimes you just gotta go. Because it's not worth your time trying to fight with clients. The guy who's don't bite the hand that feeds you. That's nice.
So how do we break free from this like low fee situation? Like how do we get our freelancers like paid more?
I think we got to stand firm. Or just there's not many of them around. They all talk to each other and go, hey guys.
So there should be a collective.
Yeah. In that sense now, the union or whatever.
They don't want
Yeah. Yeah. But the problem is also, I've had cases where people are undercutting each other.
Yeah, there'll always be someone who's kind of like, yeah, I'm just doing this cheaper.
I don't care. I'll get it. So,
and now, like when you check a route somewhere, you're gonna hit a digital marketer, like
go through a lot of this data.
Yeah, so it's probably like
Digital marketer.
Yeah. Oh, having said that, how do you vet your freelancers?
I don't know. How do you vet them? Unless it's word of mouth or somebody tell you that they're good. And I've had friends say, no, they're good, and I try them. It's like the editor.
Yeah.
I was so disappointed. So disappointed. We've been shooting for months, and then the guy comes up with nothing.
So seeing how uncertain that thing is, right? I mean, why would you pay her higher?
I do pay higher, but it's not why it's here.
Okay.
But the guys who work with me, I've started paying higher because I know they can do the job. I talk to them. So are you okay with this price? I say you're okay with this price. I don't say this is price. Take it or leave it.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay. You can cover everything. Yeah, okay, great. Because you get more jobs. They know it.
Yeah.
And then we'll pay them high, and I'll pay them high, and I'll pay them high. But I need to know whether the first time you can do the job first. But once you know, then you know.
So having worked in KL and then in Singapore as well and here, so
Timor.
okay.
Don't forget Timor and Bali.
But I like to think we're not losing to Timor, but how far do you think our gap is in terms of like
But losing to Timor.
In
You're
terms
playing
of
quite
like-
well, Timor.
in terms of talent, in
We
PR, marketing, film
everything,
industry,
the creative industry, we're still far behind.
still far behind?
Because we don't our it's not because we don't have the talent or the expertise. Our own people do not appreciate our talent. That's really sad because this is why they go and leave and then we complain, oh, we don't have people here. Because they appreciate it across the world. Then we realize later, oh my god, case in point, and we go, now he's there, now he's so expensive.
Yeah, so on that somber note,
Well, you want to get, but honestly, if you guys, really want to have a conversation about it, I don't mind talking about it. Talk to me offline, off camera. You should imagine I don't speak to this guy because he actually asked me wants to have a dialogue. So I don't mind talking about it.
yeah,
And even discuss it with guys across the board as well.
the biggest questions that I always get is like, so how much do you charge? How do you know what to charge?
Well, you've got to sit down with them and really talk about the problems they have and why do they charge this amount. They've got to break down the costs. It's always at the end of the day, break down the costs. Look at the costs. It's something I was always told. Look at the cost, look at the cost. And then it will give you an idea of how to charge.
Yeah.
Everything above that is what you want.
Yeah.
But look at your costs. Don't charge below your costs.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
You charge below your costs. What the hell? How are you being a freelancer? Go back and get a 9-to-5 job.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's simple mathematics. I mean, I don't need to tell them that. Because imagine like your petrol costs like 50 ringgit. You're doing a week's work and it costs you
You live in
100
a life.
ringgit and then you're charging 70 ringgit. Like, oh, because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
What the heck? You can't even makan though.
Yeah.
Then don't drive, take Grab.
Yeah.
There we go. So that was episode 21. See you soon.
A bit back to the norm.
Huh? Get back to normal. Was it normal?
I mean, like, yeah.
Yeah, I
from
think-
episode 20.
Well,
So tell us which you prefer. Yeah.
I've got to ask you your stuff. Bye.